Welcome to Daily Ad Brief. I'm Christina Daves, your host of More to Media, where we dive in on all things marketing, media, and digital. Today, we are headed to McLean, Virginia to meet with Borzou of Nickel Bronx. Welcome, Borzou.
Hey, Christina, thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm excited to
How are
have
you?
you. When I checked out your website, everything you have throughout there says that you provide an unfair advantage for marketing, website. What is that?
So everything we do ties back to your brand, right? So our whole shtick is, yes, you need ads. Yes, you need SEO. Yes, you need traffic to your site. But what good is it if people aren't going to want to stay, aren't going to relate to it, don't want to do business with you? Um, People tend to have this feeling that like if their product's good enough, everything else is going to come out in the wash. But customers don't know your product's good until after they buy. so, so you really need a killer brand to make them relate to it and want to do business with you and be part of what you have going on.
So, what do you
And
think
that's
is the
what we do.
biggest challenge that people are facing right now? How do you get over that, help them get over that obstacle?
Um, a lot of times the obstacles are internal, right? And people have, we have a variety of things we come up against. One is, a lot of entrepreneurs, they made this logo or brand on their coffee table, like before they had anything. And so they're just really emotionally attached to it. And, they're just saying in business that what got you here is not going to get you there. Right. So what worked to get you to your first million or whatever stage of the business life that you're in, especially with an entrepreneur who has really like muscled the growth and really, done the calls, knocked on doors, whatever, right? When they want to graduate to a place where people are going to want to do business with them and have leads come in, they really have to change the way they're presenting their information and what they're doing. And I would say most of the time, our biggest struggle is internal, whether it's, people are not in line with what they want their brand to be. Their values are kind of all over the place. If they've never done core values, right? Like it's very difficult to get people on the same page for what they want to build their brand around. And then the other thing is I think this misconception that you have to be really big to take risks and kind of put yourself out there. And I think it's just the opposite. I think the smaller you are, the more important it is to do something to cut through the noise and try to be a little bit different. But those are probably the top two internal ones we get.
So, what do you recommend for them to do to cut through the noise? Because that's a big problem now. It's, especially post COVID, everybody went online and helping people navigate that. That's something I do as well. That's where press comes in. They can stand out and be different.
Yeah.
How do you help your clients do that?
So I do think press is a hugely important piece of it. But I think they need to take a really honest assessment of where they are and where they want to go. Market research, brand strategy, go-to-market strategy, taking kind of the pre-work to see what their customers like them for, what their customers don't, right? A lot of times what a business owner or entrepreneur thinks is their strength is not. And a lot of times what people like and associate themselves to with the business is just not what the people running the business think, right? Like you're in the weeds, you're not always seeing what happens with every piece of every job or every product that goes out. So I do think the initial piece is like just owning who you are and why people are working with you, right? And then the next piece is being comfortable putting that out there, right? And I've seen everything from someone's like, oh, our people are, our most important asset, and that's why people really want to work with us. And I'm like, why is there nothing about your people on your website? And they're like, I don't know, that's not going to make people want to do business with us. And there's this disconnect between what's working, why people are coming, and what they want to put out there, right? And I think it's almost like a vulnerability thing. Like you have to put out
Yes.
like what's real, You know what I mean? Like, you can't make a fake brand, right? I can't make I don't know, plumber look like a nightclub, or like I
Right.
can't, you know, like it's got to be authentic to you and your values and what you're doing and what works for you. And I think for some people it just feels like, I don't want to say they're airing their dirty laundry, but like they feel a little exposed, and they don't
Right.
realize that's why people resonate with it, and that's why people wanted to work with them in the first place.
Right. And you're exactly right. Having that authenticity is so important. And our time goes so fast here. You were amazing. I'd love to have you back and talk more about this. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you. It was great to be here.
Awesome. To learn
All
more
right, thanks for
about
having me.
Borzou and Nickel Bronx, head over to dailyadbrief.com. I'm Christina Daves, your host of More2 Media, and I'll see you next time.